What's up, guys? It's your boy Mike here. Back at it again. Before we get started, I want you to like, comment, and share. Appreciate y'all very much for tuning in. I'm here with my lovely host, my wife, Jeanine Escobar.
Co-host.
Sorry. Co-host. And I just want to talk to you guys about a little bit about health and happiness and reflection of yourself and how important things are in life to take care of yourself physically. And one thing I want to talk about is my wife and I had a conversation earlier on our podcast earlier talking about how important it is. How you look is how you feel on the inside. A direct reflection.
Yeah. So how you look on the outside is a direct reflection of what's going on the inside. And also it's a direct reflection of how you talk to yourself.
Yes. And I think a lot of people just accept the fact that they are what they see in the mirror and just, that's it. Give in, tap out. And let me talk about this. Let me elaborate. So when I'm out in public, we're out doing our shopping, we're out running errands. I'm a people watcher, man. I'm a people observer. I'm a trainer, so I'm analyzing things. That's just the way my mind works. And everybody out there looks miserable. You see it in their face. You see it in their body language. And the people I'm talking about are usually more on the heavier side, more obese. They just look, the way they move, they don't look happy. Couples together, they don't look happy with themselves. You see the look on their face. They don't look miserable. They look miserable. And it's sad because they just accept that. They don't choose to do anything about it. You know what I mean?
I feel like people they feel like it's a big mountain to climb and they're not willing to do it.
Yeah, they're not willing to do the work, not willing to learn. Almost, I feel like society today is like, they're in a hurry to the grave. Like they're just counting down the days for something massive to happen to them. And it's coming, something massive. You can't, listen, we're not invincible, you guys, at all. A lot of men feel like this thing of invincibility. For example, guys who are already extremely overweight, already heavy, and they're pounding down beers and drinks, smoking cigarettes like it's nothing. Like, do you know you're killing yourself? Like, you're not going to last very long doing this. You're lucky right now. You're living on borrowed time. But they don't realize that. The only time they realize is when 911 has to get called, that ambulance is taking them to the emergency, and then they find out the bad news.
Yeah. And what's interesting to me is I can't even comprehend it just because I've never really done a lot of like bad things to myself. So I've never drink a lot, smoke a lot, do a lot of drugs, eat poorly, overweight all at the same time.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what kind of anxiety I would have going to bed. Can you imagine if you knew like you were doing all these things, you're overweight and you stopped and think, shit, I can go to bed right now and I might not wake up.
Exactly. People have this arrogance and overconfidence, like they're going to wake up tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're going to go to bed and wake up. No, not furthest from the truth. And let me tell you something. Having this stroke was a huge wake-up call because I wasn't doing none of that. I was not eating bad. I'm not overweight. My body fat is low. I'm doing everything right. I'm hydrated. I'm sleeping. I no longer drink. I don't do drugs. I stopped all that. Stopped smoking weed 4 months ago. Just a lot of things I've changed in my life to better myself, evolve. And look what happened. It still got me because why? I wasn't on top of my blood pressure and I wasn't really monitoring my meds like I should have and really paying attention like I should have. Got caught slipping.
Yeah. Can you imagine though? But you don't. That's the thing. Like when you're doing, because there was a time when you were doing a lot of bad things.
Yes.
You were overweight, drinking drugs, party drugs.
I know.
And did you at that time ever stop to think, dang, I'm so unhealthy right now. I might not wake up. Did you ever even think that?
You know what? I didn't. That's the arrogance of invincibility. That time was what? More like in my 30s, late 30s?
Yeah.
Mid to late 30s?
Mid 30s.
Yeah. No, I didn't. And everybody should think that. Not to scare you guys, but you should think like, for you heavier set dudes, man, you start thinking, damn, I got to wake up tomorrow? Is my heart going to start beating? Because we're strong, but yet we're very fragile on the inside. Anything can happen. Let me tell you something. There's a lot that I learned going through this. 25% of us are walking around genetically with holes in our heart. Born that way. No rhyme or reason, just born that way. They checked me for that to make sure I didn't have a hole in my heart. I'm actually wearing not a pacemaker, but this is really monitoring my heart rate for
It's
AFib.
like a mobile EKG kind of thing.
Yeah, they want to make sure like my heart's not skipping any beats or anything funky going on with my heart. Like the stroke didn't come from my heart. So they're monitoring. They just want to be on top of everything. But you guys, you got to stop and think. You got to start looking at friends, family members, anybody older than you, what they've passed away from. That can happen to you.
Yeah, it's just scary, I guess.
This is like it's like a weird blessing and a curse that happened to me because, yeah, it happened and it sucks. And I try not to get too down about it and too depressed. But at the same time, it's a blessing because I didn't lose my limbs, meaning everything works. I had no paralysis. I'm not paralyzed. My speech didn't get messed up. I did have dizzy spells after, but those seem to subsided. I'm getting back to normal life. And like you said yesterday, we're having a conversation. It's like I'm a beacon of information, a beacon to pass this to make people aware of what happened.
Yeah. So what would you say for somebody who they don't even know where to begin, but they know that they need to do something? They're not the picture of health. They don't. They have a lot of vices. They have a lot. Like they don't eat well. They drink. They smoke. They have vices. They're not exercising regularly. We know that it's very difficult to do everything.
Yes.
So where do you think they should start?
First, got to be honest with yourself. Number one, got to be honest with truth for yourself. Do you have a problem? Yes. We'll start working on that problem, your vices. Start slowly either cutting out or cutting back. Number one.
So you say that the first thing they should focus on is identifying vices and then scaling back.
Yes. Number one, you have to. You can't go gangbusters and cut it all out. Me, I'm pretty good at cold turkey things. That's what works for me because I'm an extreme individual. Dad decided to stop drinking out of nowhere, which almost a year ago, I just said, this just isn't for me no more. I've had enough. I'm done. It's not conducive to my health. What am I really getting out of it? So I said, I'm done. 4 months ago, Halloween night, October 31st, I said, you know what? This is it for me with the weed smoke, and I'm done. I've done this for so many years on and off since I was a teenager. I'm over it. It's done. I've done enough. So that's what I've done, little by little. I came to you when I needed help with my macros to eat better, learn that. And that's been excellent, man. It like turned my life around. Better than ever. Better than anything I've ever done. So, one step at a time. I've always worked out, so that wasn't hard for me. I've always gone to the gym. It's more like just getting my eating on track and then get rid of my vices.
Yeah. So for you, you did macros first and then vices, but would you recommend somebody do vices and then macros?
You could do both. You could do both.
Together? That's tough.
It's tough, but you could do both. Life's tough. You just have to you have to find your why, you guys. For you men that are fathers, have kids, that should be enough reason right there. And I feel like a lot of men these days don't want to live for their kids. They're like in a hurry to die. Oh, I just want to see my kid graduate high school and that's good enough. Or I just want to see my kids get married. No. Why not look at the future? I want to be a grandfather someday. I want to walk my daughter down the aisle. I want to create my son, my boy. I want to teach him to be a man. A lot of things. And a lot of fathers always say, I'll die for my kids. Oh, they act tough. Why not live for your kids? So you got to just find your why. You got to find, and motivation, yes, that works to an extent, but motivation is more like somebody said it's more like an emotion. It comes and goes. It passes. It's not always there. You have to learn to build discipline. You have to learn to say no to things. You have to practice. It's not easy. It's a hard climb up that ladder, but you got to do it.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people, they start the process.
Yes.
And I don't know what they think it's going to be like or something. If it's going to be like so easy or just like a breeze or they're just going to get all these results because they start and they quickly quit.
Quit.
Like why? Like why? Because what were they expecting it to be like? That's what I'm trying to figure out for those people that start and quit immediately.
Yeah. So for you guys that are chasing aesthetics or weight loss, don't chase that. My advice to you is chase consistency. Learn consistency first. Consistent tracking macros. Learn about consistent eating better. Consistently saying no to things. Instead of your friends offering you a drink, be like, you know what? I'm okay. No. And again, don't give in to peer pressure, you guys. You're a man. You just say no. It's okay. You're not going to get beat up. You're not going to get assaulted. Say no. And this is what I ask people. If they ask me if I want to drink, no. Why not? Because it's not conducive to my health. And again, another thing you should ask yourself or ask them, I have a question for you. If I keep drinking, let's just say my liver fails someday. I'm deathly ill, end up in the hospital. I'm on my deathbed. Are you going to take care of my kids? Are you going to take care of my family? What are you going to do? But you wanted me to drink so bad with you. You wanted me to follow your same footprint. But now that my health took a turn for the worst, now what? Are you going to pick up the pieces? No. The answer is no. No one's going to do that.
No, not at all.
They're all going to give you praying little hands on Instagram and, oh, I feel bad. Or how you doing? You're going to get hundreds of comments. Oh, I pray for you, feel better. But no, that's all bullshit. Because I know someone now who's in rehab, and they're in rehab with a person who isn't going to make it. They drank for 2 years straight, hardcore. They're not going to make it. They have no chance in hell. They're basically there to die. Their liver's that far gone. It's pretty much.
Oh, really?
Yes. I don't know why that person took a turn for the worse or why they're not going to make it. And I don't want to put the person's business on blast.
They're not going to make it in a health-related manner? Like health-wise, they're not going to make it?
They're not going to make it to live on Earth much longer.
Oh, shit.
The liver's shutting down. It's going bye-bye. It's done. There's no point of return from that for them. And that happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
That happened. Another friend of mine told me he had a friend in his 30s who drank himself to death in a matter of a 2-year span. I think people think like it takes 20 years to cure yourself.
No, not alcohol.
This person went on a 2-year run and his liver failed and game over.
Yeah, not alcohol. My brother had a friend young. He was really young and he died of cirrhosis of the liver as well. But it was like just binge drinking. Daily binge drinking, even for a few months, can kill you. Yeah.
And another thing, a lot of you guys are walking around with overweight, high blood pressure, not even know it because you're too scared to check your blood pressure, and you're eating reckless. Food full of sodium, saturated fats, everything. All it takes is one major blood clot, one major stroke, and it could be game over for you. My cousin didn't make it at 40 years old. She had a major stroke at 40 years old, drinking, smoking. Wasn't too badly overweight, but that got her. That was enough to put her away. Done deal. Just like that, in a swift. She went to the hospital, 911,
She
ambulance.
made it to the hospital.
Made it to the hospital, succumb. So, again, I'm blessed that I'm here to talk to you guys about this. I made it. I'm okay. My father, he survived his stroke at 58. But again, he didn't recover all the way. Lost his sense. He can't talk correctly, face paralysis, never regained his balance. He's still ticking. He's still fighting, but he's not the same. So far, knock on wood, everything's good for me. I'm on the up and up. I'm back in the gym. So again, you guys better ask yourself, man. You better look at yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Go get yourself checked out. Go get that blood work checked out and check that blood pressure more than anything. All right, you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.